What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Flawless Fantasy Football. And today is the conclusion. I know, don't start crying, but you guys are probably crying with tears of excitement, getting ready for the wide receivers that's coming up next. But today's episode is the conclusion of the running back section for 2023 fantasy football, flawless fantasy football style. So yes, we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about running backs that yours truly, flawless. How can I put it? What's the word I want to use? Recommends, am interested in, am apt to draft running backs that are outside the top 36 on running backs have PPR based on Fantasy Pros rankings. So I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 running backs along with 4 other honorable mentions that I am interested in drafting this year as, swing for the fence. We talked about Gator baseball analogy last video, right? So I am interested in these, because listen, it happens every year. A late round running back or late round wide receivers, not that often, but it happens, and those are the type of players that I consider league winners, okay? I hate when people be like, oh yeah, Christian McCaffrey's a league winner, or some elite wide receiver, or Amon-Ra St. Brown's a league winner. Like, these dudes are getting freaking picked in the first and second round. You shouldn't be called league winners. They're doing what they're supposed to do. League winners are somebody that vastly outproduces their ADP that makes your team level the hell up, right? So if you're new, I hope you enjoy the content. Consider subscribing. I want to tell you guys, man, I appreciate my community. I started this, I believe it's the third season, but I built this channel up to where this started as a bucket list thing for me. This channel hasn't been monetized. I don't give a crap if it doesn't get monetized. It's not, as much as I'm passionate about fantasy football, I love the community, so, and to be honest with you, I don't want to have the responsibility or have to feel like, oh my God, I got all these freaking subscribers. No, look, at the end of the day, I appreciate you guys. I sit back here and I chop it up, I say my stuff, and it just comes straight from the heart, man. I don't try to sugarcoat nothing from you guys. And I appreciate you guys taking to me and appreciating my personality, really, because that's what it is. Because I ain't trying to put on for you. I ain't got time to be faking the phone, So I appreciate that. I want to let you know, man. I see some of your comments, and I know how some of you guys feel. Plus the, people that actually do know me personally, they be like, man, you're that way behind, not behind camera. And I was like, yeah, I just got to keep it that way, man. So I just want to let you know, guys, I appreciate you. It's kind of late at night. Well, let's talk about real quick. Cause it's kind of like my monologue, kind of settled into that. Usually I didn't do that too tough, but I got a text today saying, oh, the ESPN fantasy draft song, so I I was working on fumes. I think I told you the last video, so I didn't get much sleep. So I came home today and I took like a 2.5 hour nap. Wish it was longer, to be honest with you. So I got up and I saw they were in the 9th round. I started looking over their teams and stuff like that, I turned it on and I'm like, ugh. Disgusting. Now, there's a couple good teams on that, but to be honest with you, it's tough for me to grade a 10-man team because 10-man leagues, it's like, oh, everybody got a pretty much stacked team. If you got a crappy team in a 10-man league on paper, you're in trouble, because you're not supposed to have that. You know what I'm saying? So that's not ideal. But, hey, it is good entertainment. I know I threw that YouTube short out there. I don't want people to think I'm solely hating on them or whatever. I ain't in the business let me just have my opinion. I don't give a crap if somebody jump in here and say, oh, that knucklehead flawless. You need to shut his fat up. But hey, it is what it is. So, but I enjoyed the content and, and just watching. We're all different, so we're going to have our different opinions. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Let's get to the freaking content. All right. So all these are running backs outside of the top 36. Running backs. So it's got to be running backs 37 and beyond. And we're going to start again with this. Is based off Fantasy Pros half point PPR rankings. All right. So look, we're going to start at number 37. Number 37 is Samaje Perine. Okay, straight up. I mean, listen, this is easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is one of the easiest selections to me whatsoever. Now look, you got Sean Payton coming in, but let's hold off on Sean Payton. You got Javonte Williams. We don't know if he's going to start. He hasn't really been taking, I don't believe he's actually, taking any hits or anything actually yet. It's too much of a risk for Javonte. And to me, I want him to play. I want him to play week 1. Because you can have Perine for an ultra discount. And then as soon as, I'm not wishing injury on him, but some players have a higher probability injury than others. So then as soon as he laid down, Javonte, Perine got the whole pie to himself. With Sean Payton, with a team that has a good defense, and he's going to be rushing the ball, receiving the ball, and there's a high ceiling. There's a mid to low end running back 1 ceiling if that happens, and he's an every week starter, Samaje Perine. So handpicked by the organization. We saw what he did in Cincinnati. We knew who he was. He's no chump. So Samaje Perine for number 37. Upside running back number 1. Outside of the top 36 running backs. Number 2, and this really started to come on me within the last 3 days, is, man, it's kind of hard for me to say this. But I'm going to go ahead and say it. Jamal Williams. I believe this guy, he's going to have the whole thing to himself in New Orleans. He's going to have it all to himself for the first 3 weeks. Jamal Williams, I don't want to say he's a plotter, but he's a plotter, okay? He's a freaking plotter. But man, he can sniff the goal line. Oh, can he sniff the goal line? Hey, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I know that Kamara's there. He's going to be out for the first 3 weeks. Man, but we've seen the best of Kamara. This is not going to be like, it's the Kamara show. Those days are over. Look at me. Look at me. Once I get to something, man, I'm like, man, I can't get up on stuff like that. It's over with the whole Kamara deal. I'm not saying he won't have productive games, don't get me wrong. But as far as thinking that, oh, man, this is Kamara, he's going to put up a 26 or 28 today. Lies. Already missing the first 3 games. And I think Jamal Williams, he has to. Why you think they went and got Jamal? Because they saw what he did, so they want to replicate that in the Saints. So I think he's an awesome pick. He's currently number 39. He's currently picked 39 out of running backs. 39. And he scored all those touchdowns last year on a defensive team like the Saints, a team that has a better offense than actually Denver, speaking on Samaje Perine, the last pick. And if he getting the goal lines, if he stays the goal line back the whole, and that don't mean Kamara won't see any goal lines. But if he is the main goal line short yardage back, come on, man. Like, Kamara isn't the future, so somebody has to be. I believe they want it to be that rookie that's so glass over there and Williams. They want that combination. So I think this would be Kamara last year over there anyway. We've seen the best of him. He's in legal trouble, so they ain't got time for that. Team will never run through him again like that. So yeah, they got their quarterback. So Jamal Williams can easily be slept on and then put up another double-digit TDs. Man, imagine the type of juice, the type of Ezekiel Elliott juice. Because Zeke won't be doing much of that this year. Not much at all. He might do this, that little bit, just a little turn. That's all you get, that little turn. But he won't be doing that. So I really like Jamal Williams. That's my second pick for a running back outside of the top 36. And he's a running back 39. So also let me give you a little caveat, a little sprinkling. Let me give you a little sprinkling. Week 3, because we know he got the first 3 weeks to himself. Not even worry about the rookie because he's glass. But also week 3, Jamal Williams plays against Green Bay Packers. I sense a freaking revenge game. If you smell, okay, I'm telling you, Jamal Williams could easily come out of the first 3 weeks with a solid 3 touchdowns, and that's not asking for. That's not a reach. That's not a reach. So again, enough of barking about that. I'm not finna be doing, tugging on Jamal. I'm not married to him. I ain't married to him. Y'all saw that video. I'm not gonna speak on Jamal. I'll talk about the other dude later. All right. Number three, man. Number three is going as the running back number 42 overall in half-point PPR, and that's Jerick McKinnon. Jerick McKinnon, guys, I know you got Isaiah Pacheco, you got CEH. Isaiah Pacheco, I think he's the first and second down back primarily. He had a little arm injury. Let's be honest, Kansas City is one of those teams to where I believe they love the rotation. It's like Philadelphia. They love the rotation. As much as you may love somebody, like I love Gainwell, right? I've been a truther for him since he came in the league. But it's like Philadelphia don't want to give it to him. So they keep bringing in other backs and this and that and whatever. So it's hard to really capitalize on them. And then hell, if then something does happen, then you got to worry about, it's just you don't get that certainty that the person's going to carry, 70% of the load in the backfield. But Kansas City is one of those teams too. So you got Pacheco, you got CEH that's still on the roster. I think CEH just kind of feel like almost, not as much, but like how San Francisco did with Trey Lance. You picked the first rounder and they suck, So it's kind of like, oh man, what are we going to do? If we just let him go, we cut him, it's just make us look so bad. Hey man, but it is what it is. CEH will never be that guy, in my opinion. And Pacheco, as much as he's runs fast, so he's just not as dynamic and versatile as Jerick McKinnon. They showed that McKinnon scored double-digit touchdowns total last year, and for 5 weeks he was putting up monster numbers. And when you got Travis Kelce being a year older, you had pieces. You got wide receivers that love to get injured, young wide receivers, and Juju left. Now, look. I believe they're, Patrick Mahomes already said that, look, this is going through, the offense runs through Kelce and everybody else, get theirs afterwards. So you got to listen to people when they say that. That's why I listened to Josh Allen. I like when he said that about Cook, you got to put some respect on the things that the elite quarterback says. So I like Jerick McKinnon, especially if one of the other running backs go down, like if Pacheco go down, or if CEH go down. Man, I love McKinnon and what he brings to the team at running back 42 overall. First was Samaje P. Ryan, Jamal Williams, and third was Jerick McKinnon. Number 43 is Devon A-Chain, man. I like A-Chain. A-Chain is, I haven't mentioned much about him, but I just think with his explosiveness, he fits Miami's style, A lot of people, when I look at this draft, and I saw the people picking, let me pick Mostert, let me pick Jeff Wilson. Mostert is the most brittle fine china going. So he's up there. He's in the Hall of Fame as well for fine china on the Mount Rushmore of that. And Jeff Wilson's a plotter. I'm a Niner. I can take Jeff Wilson's a plotter. Jeff Wilson had that one little piece of season when he was something, and people thought he was going to do something, and he was trash after that. So A-Chain kind of fits. If he can go back there, now he ain't going to get a lot of rushes and stuff like that, but to me, that's not the build of Miami Dolphins. When you got those two wide receivers over there and you spreading it out, then you can use him out of the backfield, needle mover type dude. I really like his outlook, and if you catch him on the right games, and if he ascends to where he's the starter, just imagine how better that's going to make your team. Now, you might have to wait. I think you will have to wait, because he's going to have to pay his dues. But he's somebody that he'll likely not get drafted, or even if he does get drafted, he'll get dropped. But he's somebody that might pop around week 5, week 6, or take the reins at week 8, and whoever just happened to have him at that time can easily put him in at a flex, and they look good, or put him in the lineup. So we'll see what happens with that. But A-Chain is a possibility where he could be a nice needle mover for your team. if the cards fall his way. Number 5, Devon A-Chain was number 43. Number 5, running back number 44 and half point PPR based on Fantasy Pros is no other than yours truly. Yours truly. Now you want to talk? Now look, this ain't about all those other guys. This is about me. Maybe I shouldn't even say that, but Mr. Tyler Algier. And yes, yes, there's only one. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna. If I was like those other dudes and like the freaking, get all into my. I'm not trying to wear that out. So I really fought the urge because I don't want to do it against myself. But yeah, I love Tyler Algier. Love him. Listen, I love Bijan Robinson. We know he's a specimen. And I'm not saying he won't do great, but I just don't think he'll be running back overall number 3 great. That's the problem I have with the ranking. But I love Algier. I loved him even last year, so picking him at 44 and just, what if he's the starter? What if he's getting the majority of the work? What if Algier's just, is predominantly the receiving back and was only getting like 8 carries a game? What if? Oh, but he got the draft capital. What if? So what if he's not getting the quote-unquote honey touches, which is the sweet spot touches? What if Algier's getting 75% of the goal lines? And I'm just not willing to pick nobody at their ceiling, a rookie at their ceiling. No way. But I love Tyler Algier, and I'm not hating on Bijan. Hey, you guys saw that Bijan commercial? This is what I was going to talk about for Bijan. It was Yahoo, I don't know, I think it was Yahoo Fantasy Football. It was like a video. I saw it like on Facebook. So I'm going to pin it to the top of the comments, and y'all click on it and see what y'all think about, what y'all notice about Bijan. That's all I'm gonna say, and that probably let me know why people be doing and acting the way they act about Bijan. But I looked at the video and I'm like, that's it. So hit me up in the comments and just look at it. You analyze yourself. I just had to see it half a time to really do what time to. But good luck to the dude. I'm just saying, it's like he just stuck out to me. Nevertheless, let's move on before I get canceled up in this damn thing, right? So, I love Tyler Algier, number 44 ranked running back, and the dude's a monster. That team wants to run, so he's going to have value regardless. And next is Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren, man, look, I'm be honest with you. Jaylen Warren's explosive. Najee's a freaking plotter. Listen, I will never draft Najee. Listen, if in the Flawless Fantasy Football Listening League, let's say if I'm 11, right? And let's say, it's I don't know, freaking 6th round, 5th round. I'm going to grab 5th, 6th round. And you're at the 11 and I'm 12, and you want Najee for some reason, best believe you can pick somebody else at the 11, and I'm at 2 picks at the 12, and I'm not picking Najee. He'll come right back to you. So that's a little caveat for you, because I don't care. I would never pick Najee. Okay, so that's how. You gotta have a certain level of conviction in fantasy, and that's the problem. Some people are like, oh, well, if this guy dropped, if I want a running back in round 2. Right? Let's just say, if I want to run it back in round 2, I don't give a damn what wide receiver drop. I don't care what wide receiver drop into the 2nd round. If I want a running back there, I'm picking an effing running back. Because I'm going to tell you what, if I go wide receiver round 1, and I wanted a running back round 2, but then a wide receiver, or some wide receiver, I don't give a damn who he is. He could be whoever it may be. Drop into the 2nd round, and I'd be, oh man, this is great value, and I click him. Now I'm feeling some type of way because now I'll be really fishing for running backs when I wasn't prepared to, because I had already prepared myself mentally to have a running back there. It needs to be a certain level of conviction that people need to have on in their life, not just in fantasy football, in life in general. Stay the course. I know some people are like, oh, stay water, stay fluid. Man, F that. Now, if it's a person that, let's say if you wanted in the 2nd round and I wanted a running back, a particular running back, a running back or 2, and let's say another running back end up dropping and getting to the 2nd. Now, I'm still getting the position that I want, so I can pick that other guy because he wasn't supposed to drop, but I'm still within the position that I like. No matter if it's wide receiver or running back or whatever. So now I can still stay the course. Okay? Like I mentioned to you, I believe it was a couple videos or so ago when I picked Peyton Manning at the 12 in the first round at the 112, but I was trying to get what's the guy name? He had the dreads on when he played for Steven Jackson when he was first year with Atlanta. But Marshawn Lynch dropped down there. So I picked Peyton Manning and I say, screw you. Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista, Steven Jackson. I picked Marshawn because I stuck with that. He was still in the framework of how I wanted to build my team. And I won that year. So I don't know all this. Oh, don't pick quarterback early. You telling me? Oh, Peyton Manning threw 55 touchdowns that year. And I had Decker that scored 11 touchdowns, and I picked him in the fourth. Listen, it's about the build. It's about not missing. Missing as less as possible. That's what'll get you there. And when people miss, 50% of the are misses in the first round, 50% on average, 50% of the misses are in the second round, and it gets higher later. At least, but it's 50% of the misses in the first and second round, if not slightly higher. But guess what? If you pick Josh Allen or, you know what I'm saying, Patrick Mahomes, guess what? You're not missing. You're not missing. And to me, you can bounce back. You can move forward. You can persevere through missing out on your fourth rounder. You know what I'm saying? But missing your first and your second one or your second rounder, no, that's going to hurt you bad. You know, so that's just my take. That's just my philosophy. You ain't got to do it that way. Hopefully you don't, so I can get my players. Right? All right, let's keep it. But I want you guys to be successful in your drafts. That's why I'm just giving you my experience and my wisdom. So, I don't know who the hell I was talking about. I was freaking dog my freelancer to talking so much. Okay, I was talking about Jaylen Warren. I really love Jaylen Warren this year, not Najee Harris. Man, start going. Y'all got to freaking blow the horn on me, man. You know, so I like him this year's number 47 running back. Jaylen Warren, he's explosive. They're going to be in there 2 running back sets a lot. And I just wouldn't pick Najee Harris because I was at Tyler Algier. But then now I'm talking about Jaylen Warren. And Najee Harris actually finished running back 14 last year after having everything last year. So I don't think that he's going to meet that expectation. At the most, he'll be a low-end running back, too. He's not nobody I'm interested, not even close interested in having as my running back, too. No, I was talking about Najee Harris. Screw Najee Harris. I don't like him. All right, let's move on. I spent too much time on that. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My 7th running back is running back number 59. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. Because I don't play games with these running backs that sit up here and try to finesse these owners. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play these games. I'm going to hold out. Man, like, you better ask somebody how that works. You better ask old boy, what's the old boy name? That played for Pittsburgh. He tried to hold out. And that's how we found out about James Conner. I'm looking at this thing. He tried to rap, too. I can't think of the dude's name, man. It's too late around here. But, I see his name right in my head. Whatever. I'm remember in a minute. Oh, Le'Veon Bell. When he tried to hold out. And then I was like, I'll tell people, pick Conner. You know? And sure enough, Conner, what, number 6 running back overall in the year. And he was getting picked in like the double digits rounds, 11, 12. Oh, go, man. Go. So that person I feel that kind of comps that, I know Josh Jacobs not in, but Zamir White, they drafted him to actually replace him. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep that in mind. Now, the Raiders GM, Dave Ziegler said, we're going to make it happen. We'll get it done. In quotes, we'll get it done. Will you? Will you, Dave? Will you, Dave? So, we don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm not trusting it. Let's be honest, Jacobs performed at his ceiling last year. And you got a downgraded quarterback. And you got your dukes up against management. I wouldn't touch him because now he may do well. He may come back and do well, but he's a higher risk for injury and stuff like that. And it is what it is. I just stay away from question marks, like Jonathan Taylor and stuff like that, and J.K. Dobbins. Like y'all asking for freaking trouble. Y'all asking for trouble. So my top 7 running backs that are outside of the top 36 are Samaje Perine, Jamal Williams, Jerry McKinnon, Devon A. Tyler Algier, my love, my sweetest dear, Tyler Algier, Jaylen Warren, and White. for the Raiders. Mr. Z White. I don't think he that good like that. I ain't really, but hey, it's all about opportunity, So hopefully, Mr. Zamir does well. Let's talk about a little bit of handcuffs real quick. Just to finalize, just to wrap up, just to put the bow on the running backs. This little sweet bow. Put the sweet bow on the running backs. If you're drafting Miles Sanders, I advise you on the back end to draft Chuba Hubbard. Just to make sure you got that on lock. Chuba cool. Chuba legit. When he get in, Chuba get in there, he'll score. They got a nice running offensive line. So if you pick Miles, I advise you to protect him with Chuba Hubbard, okay? Because you're drafting him probably as your running back one or probably running back two, or depending on how you build your team up. You don't want to go scurrying around if, I think he already had like a little groin issue or something. Like he had a little slight issue. So just protect yourself, man. Like Boston, protect yourself at all times, right? Kenneth Gainwell. It seems like Kenneth Gainwell's getting a lot of juice. Penny, like roster bubblish, because look, everybody's all on Penny. I've been fighting the urge to freaking go into my mode and use the voice. I've been fighting it. But everybody was all on Penny. Now they're like, oh, no, everything looking shaky now. Yeah, they didn't invest much into him, And so, but even with Gainwell, I still think it'll be up to him. They got a running back, quarterback. But he's somebody to look out for as a late grab. He's running back 52 off the board. Chuba's actually running back 55 off the board. And we're going to talk about running back 40, which is Zach Charbonnet. If you got Kenneth Walker, see, the thing is Zach Charbonnet might be a little... No, he won't be expensive because he's late because he running back 40 off the board. If you pick Kenneth Walker, man, go on and grab yourself. Don't be drafting no wide receiver 5. Man, pick Zach Charbonnet and just have the backfield locked up, Don't play those games. I know some people always do wasted pick. Nah, man, that's insurance. Insurance. Nobody wants insurance till you need insurance. Until you need insurance. Insurance is very important, okay? Especially when you deal with people and players with groin issues and they be glassed out a little bit. Now, you won't be able to play them unless Kenneth Walker third go down. But, man, if he does, you plug him in without even asking, right? Right. Thanks, shake your head like that. Of course, exactly. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Jerome Ford. I think Nick Chubb's going to have a bomb year. But just in case if he doesn't, Ford actually been glassing out a little bit this offseason. But he's number 2 up, and he'll be getting all the juice. I don't think he'll get the volume that Nick Chubb will get or is anticipated to get this year, but he's a valuable handcuff if you get Nick Chubb. Now, listen, guys, I'm a person where I don't just draft a handcuff just to draft a handcuff. I got to see upside with the handcuff, So keep that in mind. Also, Alexander's cuff, too. Watch out for him. You got to let it fill out to see what happens the rest of the season, rest of the preseason, and see who's the number 2. If you're invested in Alexander Madison, protect him as well. Hey, guys, that wraps up the running back edition for Flawless Fantasy Football. We're going to start talking about wide receivers here in the next video or two. I might throw out a mock. I think I'm going to throw out a mock next episode. But we're going to jump into the wide receivers. We're going to hit them wide receivers. Pause. We're going to go at the wide receivers. Okay? Got to be careful about the wordplay. But I hope you guys got a lot of value out of the running backs and draft them accordingly. Okay? I give these designations, I give these recommendations, but at the end of the day, you're the one that has to, based off you doing it with a mouse, you're the one that has to say draft. All right? So, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking me out. I know this video is a little long-winded, but man, I had to wrap this thing up nice. Flawless Fantasy Football, where you hear what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Guys, we're going to make it happen in the 2023. Flawless Fantasy Football, baby. Let's make it happen. Let's win these ships together. Peace. Like the video. Holla at your boy.